it's Corey here from the Breakevens, giving you another video, my round 5 team review, and with a Q&A at the end. So for those who do not know, I put a tweet out on the Breakevens Twitter saying if you have any questions that you want answered on my team review, put your questions down below in the comments. And I got one in Twitter and one on Facebook in the Serious Supercoach group. So from now on, if you have any questions you want answered, find those weekly posts that I do and chuck a question in there, and I'll do it at the end after I go through my team. So before I get into my team for this week, let's go through the socials. So you can find us on Twitter at BreakevensPod, trying to hit 500 followers over there at 453 at the moment, so 47 away from our big 500 goal. So make sure you go over there and give us a follow. And on YouTube, search the Breakevens, you'll find us there. 111 subscribers at the moment, on the road to 200. So make sure you click that subscribe button and keep up with all of our content. With that out of the way, let's see how my team went this week. Alright, so my team scored 2,297 this week, which isn't too bad. I was hoping to hit 2-3, fell a little bit short there. Jumped up 2,861 ranks, which is great, back into the top 10k. As you know, I was top 5k after, I think it was round 2, so I dropped a bit and now I'm on the way back. Pretty happy with where my team's at, so let's get into how what trades I did and how my players went this week. Alright, so this is how I lined up. So last week I made 2 trades. I went Sam Doherty and John Ridley out for Tom Stewart and Samson Ryan. So what I was able to do was I traded out Doherty and Ridley. I subbed Chesser onto the bench, subbed Davey from from mid to defender. Davey went from forward to midfielder. I was able to get Ryan there, and Doherty was a straight swap for Tom Stewart, which left me with, if you look here, 301k there. So plenty of cash to use for this week. So how did my side actually go? So Nick Dacos was the first one with 128 points. Very happy. Number 1 defender at the moment, looking the goods. Tom Stewart 135 was a great addition. Ruben Jimmy with a 51, subbed out at 3/4 time. Bit battered and hard done by, but they're looking to manage him anyway. He's on the chopping block this week. Conor McKenna 55, didn't do much early, came good later. Dustin Wilmot 68, take that. And due to my trades, I was forced to field Lockie Cowan, so a 42 there. Not great. I did want him to sit on my bench, but that wasn't the case this week. So I knew I was taking a bit of a hit there. I vice captain Clayton Oliver 115. Didn't quite work out as I was expecting, but 115 still a decent score. Rory Laird was back for 135, which was great. Bont 145, even better. Dunkley 133 decided to show up. Setterfield 91. He's been starting slow in these games and then building. So he'll be on the chopping block in the next coming weeks. Jacob Hopper 115. That's what I like to see. Will Ashcroft 72. Happy with that. I fielded Baker because I knew Davey wasn't playing. Mackenzie was the sub. And I thought Baker would score more than Ralston, which actually worked out nicely. So Mackenzie 14, David didn't play, Ralston 42. Tim English was my captain, 139. Pretty happy with that. Rowan Marshall, 123, also bounced back in a good way. Tim Taranto for 115, perfect. Connor Rosey, 93, was a bit stiff. I think he deserved 100 there. Felt like he didn't get many points in the last quarter, even though he got the ball a little bit. Gordon, 88, needs to start really hitting out some hundreds, I think. Jack Zeeble, 106, perfect. Love that. Got to look out for Aaron Hall, who could be back this week, though. Same with Sheasel, 100. Could have been a lot more, but his last 4 kicks were all turnovers. And he got a pretty bad corky as well. And Cade Chandler, 56. Not great. Fergus Green has started making some big cash with a 76. And Samson Ryan with a 56 as well. So overall, I'm pretty happy with my side. But let's move on to what trades I'm thinking to do this week. I'm looking to trade out Jinby and Mackenzie. Jinby, I just feel he might be rested, or he might get the sub vest, or well, subbed out definitely again this week. And his cash gen will basically be halted, so I think it's time for him to go. And Cam McKenzie, his roles is completely shot, and he's not going to make any more money, so he has to go as well. So basically what I'm doing is I'm getting Jordan Dawson. Thought that was pretty obvious in my opinion. Now, obviously that means we're going to go with another rookie in here, 206k, so going a little bit thin in the forward line, but that won't be for long. So in there actually is, if I can spell, Matt Roberts. And clear that. So Roberts comes in. That leaves him with 77k. Now my big issue is obviously this forward line, and obviously having to field one of Roberts, Ryan, or Green. With all the DPPs, I'm able to go Zeeble into that defense. So I'll confirm these trades, and I'll have the team set up for you just to show it in its full capabilities. Alright, so this is how my team is going to look going into round 6. So VC on Dawson and captain on Oliver is what I'm looking to do. Now you can see I've got a few non-playing players on field. That is because I am trying to loophole the best score possible. So in defense, you see I've got the emergency on Wilmot because he plays on the Saturday before Cowan and before Constable. So if Wilmot goes probably 55 to 60 plus, Constable will stay on field and take Wilmot's score. In the midfield, I'll have Chesser in the midfield. Baker's playing on the Friday night, which means I'll be able to loophole that score in with Roberts, depending on how Baker scores. And in the forward line, Hawthorn play before Richmond and before Davey, so I can loop all of them in. And if need be, and one of those don't work out, I can do a VC loophole, probably with Chessa, do a VC loophole, and then that way I can get Dawson's score if need be. So that's how my team's going to line up. Now I'm going to go through the Q&A section. So I've got 3 questions today. So remember, for those who don't know, I'm going to do a Q&A at the end of all my team reviews going forward. So if you go to Twitter at Breakevens Pod, you'll see a post there. You type your question in there. I'll put that up every Monday. So get in Monday or Tuesday for any questions. And if you're on the Serious Supercoach page on Facebook, I'll do a post there on a Monday, so get your questions in there as well. So we'll start with the Serious Supercoaches page. I've got Nick Gapsh here. If I have absolutely destroyed your last name, I apologise. He says, only one trade left, Jidby or Baker trade out this week to bring in Gordon. So obviously he has some DPP to use there as well. So it is a tough one because Jidby is our best scoring rookie that we have this year. I'd say most consistent, up there with Ashcroft anyway. And of course Sheasel, who is the GOAT. But he's copped a few knocks, and he was a potential to be rested last week, and he was subbed off, and potential to be a sub risk this week as well. On the other hand, you have Baker, who's not really making too much money. He needs another big score, another big one of those 90s to restart his cash gen. So obviously he's an option to trade out. Me personally, if you've watched this, Nick, I've traded Jidby to Dawson. I just think Wilmot and McKenna have more money to make. So that's why I've gone Jidby. And also, if Jidby does get subbed again, he's going to lose money. It's going to take him 2 to 3 weeks to start making money again. So really, if you don't trade Jidby this week, you're going to have to keep him for probably another 4 weeks, and then possibly trade him out in 4 weeks for the same price that he is now. So I'm leaning towards Jidby. Obviously, Baker, if I put Supercoach Plus on to get their break evens. Obviously, Baker doesn't have the consistent scoring. A break even of 46, I think he can get that against Freo. If he's going to go with another good score or biggish score, I think it could be against Freo. So I'd probably play it safe. Keep Baker, get rid of Jidby. To bring in Gordon. Just make sure with your team, so I don't have a picture of your team. Just make sure you're not going too short in defence or midfield or wherever, depending on where you go. Make sure you have enough people in those lines, and this trade isn't actually hurting your side. So to summarise, I'd go Jidby to Gordon. So thank you, Nick, for your question. We'll go Serious Supercoaches again. Joel Reinheimer. Again, sorry if I absolutely destroyed your last name there. Should I bring in Cogs or Sinclair? Whoever I don't get, we'll get next week. So, let me get up Cornelio here on my phone. Canelo is 485,600k, so he's dropped 72k, so you've got to get him pretty cheap. Break-even of 108 this week. He's projected to lose over 5k, but he's projected at 100 at a 95 this week. Who are GWS playing? GWS are playing Brisbane, so it's a tough game. Going to be a tough contested game. I think Canelio can score pretty well in here. He's probably at his basement price anyway. Let me have a quick look at Sinclair, who's 546, 79k, break even of 113. Projected to lose 2.7k at a projected of 107. So you're basically getting both at their lowest. I'd probably say, unless they come out and have some really poor games this week. I think this is team dependent. If your defense is looking a bit slim and you don't have a Zeeble or a Sheasel to switch with that new DPP, I'd go Sinclair. But if your forward line is looking thin, then I'd probably go Cogs. I don't think, seeing that you're getting one this week, one next week, I don't think there is a bad trade. It could also come down to who do you back in more. Do you back in Cogs against Brisbane or Sinclair against Carlton, who Sinclair went 150 against Carlton last year? So if I had to choose one, I'm looking to get Cogs in the next couple weeks. So probably Cogs, personally. But I think Sinclair is a good get this week playing Carlton. So just to quickly summarise, it's team dependent. And then whoever you back in to score higher this week. So it's a 50-50, but you're going to the other the week after. So there is no wrong choice. So thank you, Joel, for your question. And then we'll go over to the Breakevens Twitter. Robert Phyllis, who Robert here has interacted with us many times before. We've had some great chats. So thank you, Robert, for your continuing support. So he says, this hasn't been mentioned on many other pods, but Fiorini had 50% mid-time on the weekend. Do you think that holds up with Swallow/Anderson playing well at half-back in patches? So thanks, Rob, for your question. So I've gone and did a little bit of research. Alright, I've gone on to DFS Australia and I've looked at his past games. So this year, he played round 1 and 2. And his super coach, he scored 11, so he was the sub in that game. He scored a 42. Then got dropped to the VFL. He had 29 touches. Came back and scored 54. So obviously to me that's saying not great. He was named on the interchange last week and in round 2. So yes, he's getting 50% CBAs last week, but only for 54 super coach. So let's see what he's priced at. Fiorini, 314k with a break even of 86. Is projected if he goes 50 this week, he's going to lose 16.3k. It's not sounding or looking great for Fiorini, to be honest. I think he's a bit of a fringe player. I don't think he is that best 22 that you would hope for. He is playing North this week if he is named, but I have a feeling he definitely could be um, one who could just be in and out of that side. Maybe a Charlie Constable comes back in for Fiorini there in the next coming weeks. So, unfortunately, Rob, I don't like his output and his job security. So, one thing that you need to look for is job security. That's the big one. Are they going to get consistent games? Yes or no? If no, they're not a selection. If yes, you start to look at scoring potential. Can they get you, if they're a rookie, can they get you that 60? For Fiorini, he has to get you 80s to 90s. And even then, he's not really making much money. So, um, unfortunately, Rob, I don't think Fiorini is a good option. Maybe if half their midfield goes down injured, touch wood that they don't. Um, but yeah, I don't see him averaging over 65 at a max, to be honest. So, yes, he had the role, but the scoring potential was not there. So, thank you, Rob, for your question. And thank you to everyone for their questions. So, don't forget, every Monday on Serious Supercoach Facebook page and on the Breakevens Twitter account, there will be a post. So make sure you get your questions in, and I'll go through and answer them all. And on that note, that's going to do me for today's video. Couple things before I sign off. Don't forget, we have our podcast coming out later today. So make sure you go over there and you listen to that as well. There's a lot of good information in there. You can find us on Twitter at BreakevensPod. We're trying to hit 500 followers over there. We're at 453, so we need 47 more. So make sure you go over there and follow and put in your questions on Mondays or Tuesdays, and on YouTube at the Breakevens. You can find us there. Trying to get 200 subscribers over there, so make sure you give that red subscribe button a click. Really helps us out. So that's me for today. That's how my team panned out last week and what I'm looking to do. Again, thank you to those who put their questions in. It's something I'm looking to do every week from now on, so make sure you get those questions in. So good luck everyone to round 6, and until next time, it's bye for now.